we're going to make a pineapple upside down cake. Basically, I do it in two processes here. There's a dry ingredient and there's going to be the wet ingredients. In this bowl are 2 cups of flour, and I'll add in a cup of sugar. All right, and then 2 teaspoons of baking soda. And although technically you should be a little bit more accurate, you can eyeball it, it's going to be fine.
We like to eyeball it.
And then, let's see, I need a little salt. Half teaspoon or so of salt. And some people would sift this all together. I don't bother with that. I'll just whisk it together and it'll be happy. In fact, you can just break that all up for me. And then we'll do the liquids, which consist of 4 eggs. And then let's see, a little vanilla. It's about a teaspoon. All right, and this is a special recipe that I make. It's sour cream cottage cheese. And we'll put about a cup of cottage cheese in.
Any old cottage cheese?
I really prefer large curd, but it's really difficult to find.
Is that what
This is not. And a cup of, I use yogurt. You could use sour cream. Might not have a full cup here, but it's not a problem. We can always add a little more cottage cheese. Mostly the liquid here. Okay, and there's one last liquid ingredient, and I'm going to bake this in a cast iron pot. I prefer cast iron. You don't have to use a cast iron pot. What I've done is I've melted a stick of butter, and most of that's going to go into the liquid. However, I'm going to reserve a little, and this is going to be the butter that goes on the bottom of the pan so it doesn't stick, amongst other things. I want to whip the eggs, and could have whipped the eggs before, but it doesn't matter as long as they're all good mixed together.
Looks good, looks good.
Yeah, you just want to get it nice and smooth. Okay, and I find it easiest to just put the dry back into the wet, just stir it around.
So a little bit at a time.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm going to preheat the oven. All right, you just want to get this nicely stirred in. It's going to be kind of a thick pancake batter. And in fact, I have been known to make pancakes out of this by thinning this a little bit. Yeah, this is basically the same thing I do.
This is your cottage cheese.
Yes, indeed. And now I get my skillet and the brown sugar. Almost had enough there. All right, that's good. And you always want a nice coating on top of the butter. And this is where you can be creative. If you like it a little more sugary, you can put more on or less. Mostly you want to get it layered smooth.
So this is pineapple from a can. Yeah. Any kind of pineapple?
It's, I use packed in water. Okay. You can use syrup, but I prefer the. Now, I'm going to use some maraschino cherries. You can actually use fresh cherries. When I have them in season, I use them. However, at Christmas, I mix them with green maraschino cherries.
Oh, that's fun.
And you place one cherry inside of each of the centers of the pineapple. And care of that. And now we take some pecans, we place them in the spaces around wherever they'll fit. Okay, and now we're ready to put the batter on top. All right, and now the oven's up to temperature and everything is good. We will put the cake in the oven. And it's going to bake at 350 for about 45 minutes. I'll test it with a toothpick to see if it's done, or a knife. And if not, another 5 minutes or so. If it browns off too much on the top, and we'll talk about that again, you can put a little aluminum foil down. That's fine. Let me set my timer. The cake's been in the oven for about 45. I actually added a couple minutes when I stuck my knife in. It came out clean now. And I'm going to let it sit now for about 5 minutes or so. I'll set a timer just to let the sugars crystallize a little bit, but you don't want them too much. Otherwise, the cake will stick and you have a problem getting everything out. All right, the cake should be ready to turn out.
So it's pineapple upside down cake because you turn it upside
down. Exactly. And I have a plate that just happens to fit.
You put the plate on the pan.
And then you turn it.
Tight and you turn it over. So you need a few muscles here to do this because that holds back the pan weighs light.
Oh, the pan? Not right now.
So that was just right?
Yep.
Beautiful.
And now we have our pineapple upside down cake.
Steaming from the oven.
There's a little piece of cake that got stuck to the side. We just take a knife and you just kind of separate it away. And we can patch sort of like you're dealing with concrete here. And now the final patch here. And that's it. It cools now and it'll be ready to serve in a couple hours.